What if I told you you could actually save a small fortune and streamline your entire business? Well, this is exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Here, what we're going to do is we're going to look at Claude Cowork. We're going to understand how this can be used for small businesses and pretty much streamline everything for you. So to get this on our way, I suppose, what we're going to be doing here is focusing on fitness, a personal trainer kind of business. Now, I have everything kind of pre-made here, templates of information that we're going to be working with. And what we're going to use is use my own skills I provide inside the community to pretty much see how this is streamlined 100% live. I'm going to just edit out some of the time waste and things. Other than that, it'll be as raw as it can be. So first things first, we jump over here, and the biggest problem most business owners have is this. Is a tool stack of tools that you have no idea what you're using them for, why they're costing a small fortune, and pretty much it's not really saving you any time. If anything, it's costing you money. So for me, up until probably 6 months ago, this is exactly the layout I had. Scheduling tools, Canva Pro for graphics, AI writer, SEO keyword tool. This is probably the only one I would still kind of potentially look at more. Chatbot leads tool, website hosting, website builder, and video and image stock photos. This is a major one because a lot of times you needed new images for it. And what ends up happening, it's 460 odd euros a month. As a business owner, it's just way too expensive. And more than likely, there's other tools there that I'm not even including that, should be included. And this is some of the, I suppose, the drawbacks that most business owners have. So what we're going to do here is I made up this visualization, I suppose, of a person that owned the gym. And what we're going to do is break this entirely down, how you can remove this tool stack to eventually save everything on it. So like as I mentioned, the big problems were, you're spending hours upon hours on creating content. Not only do you have to create and handle everything for all these customers that you have built out here, you now have to turn around, you have to create your content, you have to do your captions, graphics, posting, scheduling, all that kind of stuff is all built you have to do now, and it's just a drain on you completely. So with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to try and reduce everything here and pretty much streamline exactly how we can do this. So we're going to load up Claude Cowork first, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you go about installing the plugin. Again, the plugin is going to be over here. So if we jump into the marketing hub, inside this community, again, everything that I talk about is inside this. Once you join, you have access to all this. So we go to classroom, workflows and systems, and down here I have a brand new one that this video will be pretty much overlaid onto it now, the marketing OS system. This is pretty much my exact workflow of everything condensed into one. You can download the whole lot of it and pretty much install it. So when you go open up your Claude Cowork, you need to click up here, go to customize, and once you're in customize, you click the plus here on the left, create plugin, upload plugin, and that file you downloaded from the marketing hub, you just drag it, drop it into it, and within a few minutes you'll pretty much have this. You have access to over, I don't want to say 30 odd different skills, pretty much all do different tasks for your business. There's a bit of setup here first, and again we're going to try and streamline through that a little bit, but that is pretty much how you install this all. So now, as I said, this is installed. The next big thing is we want to work in a folders. And I think this is where most people get lost when it comes to Cowork. So everything you do, you can see here my folder structure is different things. This is my main one up here, the marketing OS system. This is pretty much what I run daily. Then, as I said, I have a test one again, and for this example, it's the Fit Start Coaching. All I done was I created a brand new folder inside my documents, and you can see it here, Fit Start Coaching, and from there, all the materials that I'm going to work with and generate is going to be inside of that folder. So if it's a case you have different clients, I suppose you can have them all into different folders. So now that that's set up, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up the plugins, and I want to just click on this. So you can see here, these are all the different plugin or skills that I've built out. So everything is ready for us to go. But in saying that, we're starting from raw. We're starting with no information inside of this folder, and we want to see how Claude can handle this entire setup. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the speech, see can we get the folder structure set up in terms of it understanding a bit about our business. I'll share a bit of information with this. I'm going to be sharing with you some text below. This is going to help you to build out the folder structure here of building out our Claude MD file and pretty much get a clear understanding of what the business is all about. If you have any questions after that, just ask me. So with that in mind, we're going to jump back over here, and I've done this here just pretty much, I took it from ChatGPT to create this entire, I suppose, fake business. So we jump back into Claude, and again, I'm just going to paste that in and let that work away. This is going to now start building out our instructions. It's going to start building out an overview of the business. This is going to change, it's going to adjust, it's going to kind of grow with whatever you're doing with your business. So again, you can see here the thought process, it's working away. And if we quickly just go back over here, and the main reason for this of using Claude is our aim is to reduce as much of the cost here as we can, but keep on top of all our content, keep on top of our offers, understand more, and work with our information that we have without this thing of having hundreds of files open, hundreds of tabs open. You're not sure what's driving growth. You're not sure what's potential risk or cost to you. So we have a few questions here we need to answer, I suppose, straight away. So again, what's the main job of the folder? Again, I'm just keeping it as a standalone business for this example. Beyond the Claude MD, which folder should I scaffold? Content and social, member tracking, brand and offers, admin. Again, we just add them all. We want to kind of get a structure of where things are going to work and how things are going to fit. And again, we just click next. Do you want to build a member tracking spreadsheet too? Not now. We leave this empty for a moment and just see kind of what way it's going to work. There's no right or wrong answers there. You can go back and eventually say, look, I need to change something else. I need to add something else. Treat, I suppose, your folders as different structures, different areas within your business. You have your finance, you have your marketing, you have your members, your clients, your offers, things like that. So now this is pretty much going to work, and what's going to happen is it's going to start populating. Already you can see inside this folders inside of it, and this is going to allow us to really start getting some sort of structure done to our overall system. So while that's working away in the background, what I'm going to do is jump back over here, and the purpose of this is once it's up and running, we want to be able to design in content, generate content, create lead magnets, create landing pages, all this kind of stuff, because all the skills that I've generated inside of this are pretty much all these areas. So again, create your content, create your carousels, lead magnets, landing pages, the whole lot of it is built into it. So again, just streamlines everything. I suppose the key thing here is the before and after. Before, you were normally paying around this 465 odd euros a month, and now roughly 79 euros a month. This is the way I'm paying at the moment. I have Claude Pro, 20 euros. I have Potato, which is around 29 euros, I think, and Higgsfield, which is for images, which is 30 euros. Now, for you, you could realistically get away with 20 euros if you want to just manually schedule your content. If you wanted to manually do the images, you could do it through ChatGPT, Nano Banana, things like that. But again, the problem with them is you will need a membership anyway, so that's why Higgsfield gives you access to all these different AI models for images, which I think is a great way to actually have it all set up. As I said, this is working away over here, and I pretty much explained exactly the setup of this. This is what we're doing, but the key reason to do this is we're going to do it, and we're going to try and get it to create content for us. We're then going to try and get it to analyze some information. So again, here is a spreadsheet that's been created. All this is fake information, of course, and it is not dissimilar to what I would do and what I would help people do in general when they're businesses. You have these Excel sheets that have hundreds of different people inside of it, and pretty much from a glance, there's some key things that might stick out to you, but other than that, there's not really much you can actually use with it. You need to be able to bring this information into your content to understand exactly what's, I suppose, the important thing. You can see here it's built a structure so far. So again, we have our master source of truth. This is the Claude MD. We have our brand and offer, and again, it's built all this based on our own information. Everything here is pretty much done now the way we want it. So just minimize that. So now we have a folder structure set up. Everything is ready the way we want. We can work in different folders whatever way we want to as well. And again, it's just an understanding of what we're actually doing. So now comes to, I suppose, the good part, the exciting part, how we're going to use information, how we're going to work with it. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to see what kind of skills we have. So if we click this plus button again, we can go into plugins. Again, these are all the skills we have. So straight away, there's massive opportunity here to create different type of content. So what I'll get it to do is I might get it to create like can I get it to create a HTML page, a landing page first. So again, I'm just going to ask it straight up. Okay, so since I'm launching this, what I want you to do is design a simple landing page. And with that landing page, I want you to create it obviously on the business. And what we're going to be doing is pushing our personal training sessions only. We're not going to be doing anything else. What I'll also do is I added an image here, and this is our image of our actual customer or our owner. So we want to make sure this is included in the HTML page. Any questions, again, just ask. So with that, what we'll do is jump back over here and copy the image. Hopefully that'll come through this way. So this then is going to go off, and hopefully it'll go and invoke whatever skills it needs. I think it could be the front end or the landing page skill. Pretty much this is going to start working for us. Now we can open up another chat in a minute just to kind of go through a few more areas of this and do different things if we wanted it. But for this example, I'm going to leave it run and come back to it and see how it goes. We set up the foundation, connector tools. Again, for me, I use Potato, schedules all my content. Again, as you can see over here, these are all the content scheduled that I have out for the next, I think, 2 weeks. This should populate in a second. There you go. 2 weeks of content done pretty much from a few pieces of content. And now, how should people book a page? We'll just use phone for the time being. Again, show pricing. It's probably going to ask me for a phone number now, so I should have put something different in it. As I said, all my content pretty much is scheduled out for me using Potato. The ability with them skills to create carousels, your captions, I think, which is vital. So you're not spending, ages trying to create carousel or create captions for every single thing. Schedule everywhere, business intelligence. So again, this is going to be the big one, and I'll jump into this in a minute to see can we get it to actually work with this file. So it is still running in the background, and what I'll do is I'll go to a new task, and again we're working in the same folder, and what I'm going to do is pause this for a second. So all I've done here is I've just added an actual data CSV file, which was a spreadsheet. I'm just going to bring this file into the folder structure as one of our core assets of members and get ready to work with it. So again, add this to the folders as our members and get ready to work with it. Right, so that's, again, it's going into this folder structure. And if we jump over here, you can see we're pretty much have the two different scenarios up and running for us. This is still building our landing page, and this is pretty much going to look and understand the data from the information. I think this is a key thing about AI of understanding it, is that you can actually get it to use and do different information and different things for you. So again, the data has been processed, and pretty much inside of here then it's going to start populating everything that needs to go in. So members and tracking, you can see here members, tracking fields, everything is already populated for us. This is the folder structure that we have in a few minutes ago. Obviously this part is a bit funny at the moment, but now, as I said, look, we're still left with the same information, a bunch of stuff basically that you don't really want to sit down and go through it. So look, I'm ready to work. What's the churn watch list? So again, okay, breakdown. So what I'm going to do is I'll talk to it again. So here's where things start to get interesting, and this is where you're working with your information and you're seeing what's the benefit of it. Based on the information that I've given you, give me a breakdown of my churn. I want to get a percentage here of the churn rate, and also what I want you to do is give me a list of renewals that are due in the next month. So that's working. Again, we jump back over here. We have this pretty much as being generated. So what I'm going to do is, here's our landing page has been done. We have to add the logo and the JPEG into this code, and again, it's just a folder. I have the image in the wrong place. It's just a matter of dropping the image in. So personal training made for real people, again, has everything we wanted. Ways to train, simple hosting plan. So this is our simple honest plan. This is the one thing I would go back and say, no, I'm just pushing this for the actual offer that we have. So again, look, let's tell it we're not happy with it. So what we need to do is put the photo into it. So again, I need to download that photo. So again, add this image and make sure the landing page is just for personal training. So hopefully it should go off and do the image thing itself. And again, we jump back over here and you can now start to have more information. So we'll go through this again. Churn breakdown: active 57 members, at risk is 18, expired is 13, paused is 6, and again cancelled, which again is 6. So your churn rate is 19%. That's everyone who's actually lapsed. So obviously 13 expired, 6 cancelled out of the 100. If you only count hard cancellations, it's 6%. Honest numbers to work with is 19%. So again, a 19% churn rate is something to look at. See what's the reason, why are we getting so much churn in our, I suppose, people that join up to the membership. Is there something we're missing? Can we re-engage that audience maybe with something? So 2 things to flag: 18% at risk but still active. So again, here's something that we definitely need to keep an eye on. What's the reason with them? These haven't churned it, so they're your highest leverage save. So pretty much this allows you to interact with these members that are at this rate already. Now, it's much easier to go through that data like that than what it is to try and go through it here. And that's number one thing. So for that 18% or 18 people, whatever, 18% of it, you could turn around, you could create some sort of, I suppose, guides. You could create some way to kind of re-engage them. Maybe they might just need an arm around the shoulder because motivation is down. This is where, as I suppose, a trainer, you can step in and understand them before they leave, I suppose. You also then, per member churn estimate in your data, average 5.5% monthly, which lines up with roughly 19%. So are walking out the door, another 13% have quietly let it expire, most of which renewal offer already flagged. So renewals due in the next month is a big one. So 40 memberships expire in the next 30 days. So again, there's an opportunity here that you can really look to re-engage again. So you can see here we have Grace Accountability membership at €65. She's paused her status at the moment. She's at risk is 74. Again, priority is low, but you want to be starting to push these, I suppose, out there now and starting again to re-engage with them. So what I'm going to do quickly is see how this is getting on. Okay, so that's pretty much has been added now, and what it's doing, it's renaming the file. So obviously I downloaded it as a ChatGPT, whatever number it is. It's renaming it to sarah.jpg or .png. Now you can see, hopefully, if we go back to the browser and refresh this one, now you can see image has been loaded up. It pops out straight away, goes through everything what we can do. Again, image, you could change this if you wanted a different image down here. You can see obviously call to book, message or WhatsApp. If you have your number linked to it, you're done and dusted. You have a landing page pretty much done on a core offer that you want. If you want to get customers to do this, you need to push it with social content, and that's pretty much where the next big stage comes in here. So what we're going to do now is jump back over here and look at the membership again, and you can see here that's €940 a month. Recurring revenue is pretty much left on the sideline. This is pretty much happening now, a way to engage with these and pretty much see what's happening. So what we're going to do next is we're going to look again at the information, and we're going to find out what's our busy months or what's the worst months. So again, we'll do device to make life a bit easier on me. So based on the data, what's the worst months for membership and PT sessions in general? So again, we go along, we find out here what's actually the worst months for anything we're doing. And once we can kind of get an understanding of that, this will then possibly allow us to kind of create some sort of campaigns, create some sort of maybe content to kind of push that kind of months, I suppose. So what we'll do is we're going to a new task here. And again, we're still in the same folder. We're still doing all our work in here. But again, this time what we're going to do is we still have access to our same plugins, and obviously, like I mentioned already. But for this instance, what we're going to do is going to try and get it to repurpose some content into ideas. So what I'm going to give you next is a transcript from a video. What I want you to do is to break down the content repurposing of this for me. And what I want is a plan first of the content we want and the angles we're going to use. And from before you create anything, I don't want anything created yet. So this is how I go about repurposing, I suppose, your content. So again, we've used this over here, I think. So you can see here, this is what I made up. It's pretty much a raw transcript. And what we're going to do is use this information. So this could be a call you had with someone. This could be a brain dump of information you had with someone. You could be sitting down having your breakfast in the morning and you want to pretty much understand brain dump information, a topic. You know, you're the expert in it. In this case, Sarah, who's the gym owner, personal trainer, is the expert. And now this is going to engage those skills to pretty much repurpose and break down different angles for it. So we'll come back to that in a second. Based on this, what are the best months and the worst months? So it went through the data. Two things are happening here in the point of the same window. Lapse clusters are hard in May. Of the 19 memberships expired, 13 ended in May. That's roughly 70% of your churn landing in a single month. Okay, so there's a major problem there. What's causing it? Is there something that we're doing differently as a business that's causing this to happen? June adds 4 members, so late spring is when membership falls off a cliff. So during the summer months is really bad. So is it a case that everyone has worked out the entire winter to get in shape for the summer and pretty much have decided that's it? You know, it gives you information you can work with. Strongest is July, then January and December, which makes sense. New Year's resolution, things like that. And the weakest is May. So you've got a double squeeze, fewer people joining and the most people lapsing right around May, June. This is a month to defend. So we really need to work hard on this month. There's also a cohort signal worth noting. Members who joined in April to May churned at 38 to 43%, your worst retaining intake. So PT sessions, the honest answer, I can't give you a worse month for PT. Again, don't want to invent it. That's perfect. Carries a current month snapshot of PT sessions. Show right now is 234 sessions booked this month. Right, so we already have problem here with this month, the month of May and June. So again, this is where I suppose understanding of marketing kicks in and AI. So again, okay, what I need help with now is understanding how we can fix that problem of the May and June problem where people are lapsing in their memberships. We're not getting much members in general. So what I want to try and do is create a campaign. I'm going to be using this for our ads campaign on Facebook to try and encourage membership with the run up to these months. And what I want you to do also is give me an outline for an email sequence that I can email these members in the run up to these, again, to try and combat that lapse in memberships. And on top of that, you can give me any other additional advice that you think would work to help obviously combat this point. So that's working there. We go over here again to our membership content over here. Right, so this is the key part of it. So the core message, the spine, everything hangs off. The transcript has a strong want thesis. Motivation isn't a problem. Starting too big is. Right, so we have this 7 angles it's going to go with. Motivation isn't your problem. Start so small you can't fail. Again, perfect. I like all these at the moment. How I'd map the angles to formats. Real ideas. So there's 7 different real ideas. There's a carousel, number 5, make the promise smaller, the swaps. We have another carousel, we have infographics, we have image, personal story, behind the scenes talking, could be used for your stories. B-roll overlay, captions for everything again done. So that's roughly 12 to 14 finished pieces from the one transcript. Bear in mind that reels are probably the hardest one that you still have to kind of create, but it's giving you a topic you can easily throw on the phone, and within 10 minutes you can probably have all your reels recorded. And again, one of the benefits, I suppose, of the Marketing Hub, and I mentioned this before, is we have a tool building out at this moment in time, and probably by the time you're watching this, you'll have access to it, is the ability to edit your videos using AI. So you can see here, I have this set up for that reason. So again, how much of this plan do you want me to actually proceed with when we move to creation? So again, for this example, I'm not going to move with creation because all it is now is a press of a button. So we'll see only one image. So again, we just get to create one image post to show you, I suppose, the process. We're going to go with the fit start. This is going to do its thing. We go back over here and we're back into this. This is a smart 2-pronged plan. Facebook ads, fix the weak acquisition, and email sequence to defend renewals. Again, massive opportunity here for what we want to do. So we want, how do you want this to be delivered? We want a strategy document first so we can actually see what's happening. And once we get that, hopefully then we have a clear plan of where we're going. So early renewal peak, or perk, limited time discount. We'll go with early renewal. Again, getting them to renew before they expire, maybe give them a discount. And again, we just go small local budget because at the end of the day, we're running everything ourselves. We're having a small fortune to pump into businesses. And we go back over here. This is now pretty much going to go and access my Higgs field. Now, for you, this could be a case, it could output a general prompt. It could give you an image prompt that you can go to AI. You can use that to create yourself. Or in my case, obviously, I have the benefit of having Higgs field where this automation is done for me. And this is one of the key reasons of why I talked about up here of having some of these tools. For me, it's convenience. For you, if it's budget, you can, there is a way still to do it. It's not a case that you actually need it. The output is going to give you the prompts. You can get AI then to generate an image for you. You can use the likes of Claude or ChatGPT and Nano Banana using Gemini, and you can use it for free and just get your 1 or 2 images if that's all you're interested in. So as you can see here, there are about 31 of these different tools. So these are the different skills that I mentioned about. So we're gone to the image here and we just allow that. And pretty much what it's done is a calm, clean, and minimalistic social media quote done from our content. So we have to minimize that for a second. So you start now, you're not starting from scratch, you're just continuing. Again, this is an Instagram post. This is very simple, very minimalistic. Obviously, we have the Fit Start coaching as the branding on it. We can change this. You can add elements to this if you want to do. And if you wanted to attach like your own logo, you can add it to it as well. From inside of Claude Cowork, you can just pretty much download this. You're good to go. If you had access to and connected to Potato, I could easily turn around and call on the content scheduler. And this is a skill that I have for my own brand. And this allows me then to pretty much say, okay, schedule that for my next slot, done and dusted. There's no jumping around platforms. There's no jumping between Canva, CapCut, all these different things, tools, just to get one simple thing. So we're back over here and this should be building out. This will probably be the one that's going to take a little bit of the longest because it's going to call on different skills, do different tasks, and start to build out exactly what we need. And that's one of the key things, I suppose, of having the full skills. As you can see, I talked about this a lot on my YouTube channel in general, but the ability here is that it can actually generate you a massive amount of material to help your business grow. If you're like me, you might not like creating content, but it's the devil you have to do. You just have to do it, end the story, to get seen and get generating and getting out there. I talked about this inside the community. I covered this new video yesterday that I discussed about how we pretty much 90% content is on autopilot now for me. The 10% is pretty much me going in, checking it out, see what's right, see what's wrong, anything I like or dislike, and that's pretty much what's in it. I'll pause this video, and what I'll do is I'll come back to this once it's done, and hopefully then we'll see how things go. Okay, so within pretty much, I suppose, a few minutes, about 5 minutes in total, this has went along, created a complete PDF, and what I'll do is hide myself for a minute. So Fit Start coaching, closing the May-June gap, pretty much our attack, I suppose, to prevent this from happening. What we're doing is the problem we're solving: churn rate, when members lapse, when sign-ups dip. So the anchor offer here is the early renewal reward. So renew before your expiry date and get a free one-to-one PT session worth 70. Again, could be something that is just enough to push people on. Your current price stays locked for the next 6 months, no increases, a small warm thank you. Again, could be a perfect opportunity. This is where you need to jump in a bit more and kind of I suppose 100% understand your audience, what it's bringing from. Use the reward in 2 places. So Facebook ads campaign, again, an opportunity here. So again, we have the objective. Do we have the timing of it? So run up matters. So start mid-February and run through April. So new members are settled in before the late spring dip. Keep it lighter, always on the version after. A budget, small budget to run it. Location is obviously close to where you're living. Again, you have your audience because you have your data from your membership, which gives you a clear breakdown of your audience. So in the likes of Meta, create your lookalike audience from that. format, obviously reels, behind the scenes, things like that. So we have the angle A is start small, angle B is real people, real life, so social proof showing it, and we have a summer start opportunity as well. So again, if you can lock them in from February, March time, you're going to push them in, you're going to keep them in over the summer months is the big thing. So the next big one is the email sequence. So existing members, you pretty much give them an email. So 21 days, check in and celebrate, introduce the reward, reflect and look ahead, gentle reminder, doors open, the whole lot of it. No pressure, no guilt. Whatever you decide, I'm proud of the work you've put in. It's now is the right time. Again, opportunity to re-engage that audience and reduce them churn rates. Overall will help the business. So you can see an entire kind of plan has been generated here with you. You would still need to go through this and refine a little bit. This is, I suppose, where the marketing knowledge does kick in, find out opportunities of what it has missed. AI is not going to be 100% right, but it's going to help you out massively. And this is what I'm pushing for massive for people, is to start using it in a simple format like this. And as I said, this didn't take a massive amount of time, albeit the video is a little bit long, of course. But the thing about it is I just showcase you how you use AI for your business using Claude Cowork. There is none of this confusion of complication of all this nonsense over here. Everything is built, all the different skills. So like as I said, we have all these down here, all these skills we have access to. So if I wanted a B-roll overlay, this is the skill I use. If I have a main carousel again, which follows my style, this is the one that I use here again. Gives me real ideas. So again, I could just invoke that to give me real ideas on, let's say I record my own voice for the next hour. I can invoke this skill, get it to give me real ideas based on this, based on the skill that I built out to obviously help me. If you wanted to change it, you can change it, of course. But as I said, YouTube guides, same thing. It's what I create over here is pretty much is exactly what that skill does. It does something that is able to repeat every single time for me, keep making life 10 times easier and just streamlining the entire process. So look, it's been a long one. I'm going to leave it there. If you're interested in getting access to all this, as I said, couldn't be easier. It's €23 to join. Once you join, you get access to absolutely every single thing in it. I do weekly calls, pushing these to 2 weekly calls in the coming weeks now, focusing more on systems and workflows that can help obviously business owners in a simple way. And as I said, everything is covered inside it. If you have any questions inside it, just reach out to me, let me know. I'm more than happy to help anyone I suppose navigate this space, because it can be crazy at times. So look, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.